Awesome. Okay, welcome to class number 3. Perfect. Hello, Steph. Right on 10. Class number 3, the power of word. So we did some fun and magical stuff last class. And let's see. We're actually just going to go ahead and start with our grounding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Pass me my notebook too, please. That's exactly what I did this one.
Okay, perfect. So, same as last time. So we're just going to settle in a little bit. Nice and relaxed. We went through some stuff last time, nice and heavy. So this is the perfect time to release some more. So go ahead and take a big deep breath in. Sit nice and straight. And breathe it out. Take a nice big deep breath in. And breathe it out. And with this one, I want us just to imagine a bright light above our head. So a bright, radiant light. It could be white or gold, or if you have another color, just take a deep breath in and charge that light above your head. And release it out. And as you continue to breathe, just let that light start to pour love and peace and energy over you. And let it just start to trickle down your body. You're going to take about 2 or 3 more breaths and just let it start to fill your whole body while you do these deep breaths. Just imagine a light filling you with light and love and energy. So breathe in real big. And breathe out. Let's do another 2 more. So take a big deep breath in. And breathe out. And on the last one, just hold it at the top and look up a little bit at that light. And breathe it out. And just sit for a second in this energy. Acknowledge yourself for being here. Give yourself a little bit of love. And very gently start to bring your eyes back open. We're in our safe space, our safe container, and we're ready to explore.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joshua. All right, I would like for us to go around and let's state an intention word. One word that you want to bring into the space.
Abundance.
Was that both? Peace.
Jinx, buy me a Coke.
That's what I thought. So much energy.
Peace.
What was your step?
Freedom.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Lena, what was yours? I didn't hear it.
Mine was presence.
Oh.
Perfect. Okay, beautiful. So let's go ahead and how do you get the things on here? Just,
I got you.
Okay. Whoa. All right, so we're gonna open up our slides and
Share this right here. All right.
beautiful. Next. Thank you. All right, beautiful. So today's agenda, we've got motion and movement. So we'll be talking about that. We're going to briefly go over a little bit about composition and the space on your page. And we're going to take a nice deep dive into banners. So banners is going to be a really awesome thing that we're doing today. We're focusing on today. So first, I would love to go around and just do like a quick review on the homework, like anything opened up for anybody with the projects that you guys created. Really awesome work with like figuring out how to convey a message or say something through line, through shape, and being abstract with it. But if anybody has a share, go for it.
Mm,
I'll go. Um, so for me, I chose to draw Worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa,
And,
yes.
and so as I started, I didn't think it out before I started writing the word. But as I wrote out the letters, I started to think of, we're worthy of love, we're worthy of admiration, and we're worthy of connectedness, connecting.
Ooh,
Whoa.
love it. Yeah, I love how there's that twisty on the Y.
So cool.
Nice job. And all the little action lines and all the different colors. It's almost rainbow-like, which brings me a lot of joy. And I love that heart right in the O. It almost looks like a card deck or something, like a card from a card deck.
Yeah, I was thinking like a greeting card.
Mm, cool. Nice job. Thank you, Kevin. Beautiful.
So with that little card, I use that to teach children. We use the Ace of Hearts, which represents self-love first, which is worthy. Like, because you gotta be worthy inside before you can be worthy outside. So cool.
Nice. Anybody else have a share?
I do.
Okay, go for it.
I can't remember if I pointed this out in Telegram. I can't see myself.
It's okay. We can see a little bit. Just hold it straight.
Can you
Two,
see this
one
one
back.
over here, the at choice?
Oh yeah, okay. I pulled it up on Telegram, so I know what you're holding up.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like because it starts big and it goes smaller into the middle. And when I was doing this, I was at choice. I could spiral down, and if I look at it, it looks like spiraling down, but I could go up, and just the slightest thing can start me on that path to go up. So I love that. And then I love that what's possible is completely blank.
Yeah.
mhm.
It kind of went together. And then this doesn't convey it very well, but it has the steps of growth, and it goes up on the steps and it goes down and it goes back up. Some of them are great big leaps, and some of them are, the little slide down, and some of them last a little longer. But then I really like the growth because I had fun making the far side of everything a little bit thicker, so it looks like it's going that way. And for somebody who hasn't done a lot of this, I thought it was really good. I liked it.
I love the growth one, and hearing you explain it is even better. The big steps, little steps, and growth even looks like going down a few steps sometimes. That's awesome. And my favorite of the one where you have a whole bunch, I love the one that says centering. It's just so obvious, like it's perfect. I was like, yeah, that's very centering. Goes right to the center.
Mm-hmm.
Nice job. All right. Any other shares?
I mean, I'll go ahead. I mean, for me, what I really wanted to convey was like the frowny face, like there's sadness. And I put the background in because I really wanted it to denote like the upside down, lips kind of thing. And it went through a series of colors and changes. So, and actually, when I went back, I took pictures of it just to get perspective. And I was like, oh, it looked a lot better without the background, but there you go. That's just how it goes. So, but it was fun to make. And, and I like the way that sort of the 3D, the over color almost, I don't know if it shows in camera, it kind of looks like a glistening, a teardrop itself, water denoting the sadness. Anyway, it's fun.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I think the thing was, I wanted to put pink in there because pink to me represented the tenderness of sadness. And so really important for me. So it wasn't just feeling sad and blue. It was like there's a tenderness that's hiding in there in that sadness. So that's
Whoa.
been
Wow.
fun.
Thank you. It's so awesome. I love it. Almost has a feeling of graffiti.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like I could see that on the side of a rail car behind the brewery. It's
Yes.
phenomenal work.
It's
Well,
that
I'm
is
actually
right on.
I'm working on a mural go on the backside of not a brewery but a cider house. So close.
Whoa. So
So
cool. Nice job. I really love the feeling of the water that you gave the word sad and the way that you could see through it like that and all the different colors and the variation of it. And it's really, really wow. Nice job.
thank you.
Beautiful. All right, so we did a little review and let's go ahead and watch a couple of things here. Yep, go ahead. I think I have a video. Yes. So this video just kind of goes into movement and really like for us to start to, or even jump into, because maybe some of us know some of it, to talk about some elements of design and elements of art and principles of art is important for us when it comes to lettering. So some of this is some of that.
Perfect.
All right, let's hit play.
Let me shut off my music. Okay, here we go.
When designers create a two-dimensional image, they will need to consider how to apply the principle of movement to a non-moving picture. It is strange when you think about it. How can a non-moving picture convey movement? As a principle of two-dimensional design, movement applies to how the viewer's gaze is led through the composition. It isn't that forms in the composition actually move. Instead, it is how they are organized to create visual pathways that guide the viewer's attention from one form to another. The viewer's eyes move, not the picture. Let us imagine a simple design composed of geometric shapes. We will start with a tall rectangle and a small circle in the center of our background. As it is, this composition does not demonstrate very much movement. We see the shapes in the middle of the page surrounded by negative space on all sides. There aren't any forms near the edges of the page to encourage our gaze to travel. If we reposition these shapes differently, we can convey more movement. Let's turn the rectangle diagonally and move it over to the left in the picture plane. Now we'll move the circle and align it along this diagonal trajectory. Our gaze then travels this diagonal visual pathway. We follow the long axis of the rectangle and then arrive at the circle, which is now darker in value. We can create diagonal visual pathways by different means. This time we will work with 7 rectangles of increasing heights. The tops and bottoms of these rectangles create implied diagonal lines. Our gaze will follow these implied lines through the composition. The alignment and placement of forms is organized to create movement. Let's look at a more complicated example. We'll see that the alignment, orientation, and contrast of forms will create visual pathways through a composition. In this design of interlocking shapes, we see that many are orientated diagonally. Our gaze follows this visual pathway from the lower right to the upper left. We may also notice that there are implied ellipses in the design. An implied shape is one that is partially complete. We will now consider an example that is representational rather than abstract. Here we have a picture of a small cottage in a landscape. We see a number of long horizontally aligned shapes in the background that create a visual pathway. We also see a group of dark forms in the foreground that connect along a diagonal trajectory to another grouping of dark forms in the middle ground. These also lead us to the red cottage, which is the focal area of the composition. The viewer's gaze will move diagonally from the lower left of the picture to the right focal area.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Okay.
So yeah,
You can put
Can I
that.
ask a question?
Yes.
Phyllis? Do people like in the Middle East, they write right to left? So is there art represented that way too, where a lot of times it's right to left?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I was thinking the same thing, Steph, when he's like, we're going, this is all going left to right. And I was like, I wonder if I read right to left, if I look at it differently.
Yeah, my thought is the way that he was expressing it is it was on a diagonal. So diagonal lines in art, they can go any diagonal. So whether it's going up from the left to the right or the right to the left or the left to the right, which way, right? Either way, if they're on a diagonal, I think that is the visual cue for your eyes to see movement. So it doesn't matter if it's this way or that way, as long as it's on an angle.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
that's a different question. Yeah, perfect, beautiful, and it's so fun because as we were watching that video, I was thinking about Steph's growth, the word growth, and some of all the different designs that I've seen on some of the pages, like where a darker color could have your eye move towards that way, right? So we've already been playing with this kind of stuff with movement and everything. Yes, Joshua.
So like in the position of yours specifically, Steph, where it's growth, if it went from left to right, that symbolizes growth, right? But if it went from left to right going down, because that would be the only way it could happen, that would not be growth. So in that specific thing, but like in abstract where they had all those shapes interlocking, I think any angle would represent it fine. But if it was like a concept such as growth, now I can see what you're saying is, okay, well, is growth mean the other way in a different place where they write the opposite way? So maybe it could be in a few different examples.
Yeah. Not too sure. All right, beautiful. So, and I also feel like it's important to look at movement and motion because when it comes to lettering, we're going to be creating compositions, and composition is going to be something we go into next class. And we really want to think about the visual pathways that we want to create with our message, to have the viewer's eyes move in a certain way, to see the whole message and how each word relates to each other. And let's see. So here on this sheet that I have up, there's different styles of banners, and I'm going to share this document in the Telegram so you guys can have it. And there's a whole bunch more banners. You can turn on your screen. There's a whole bunch more banners out there. And I just wanted to keep it a little simple, and we're going to practice these right here. And okay, so I'm just noticing a message from Laura Kilcrease because she was in our class on the first one and she missed the last one, and she's actually traveling right now. So in case anybody was curious about Laura, she will be seeing this video and joining us on the next one. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go ahead and spotlight this page here. Actually,
Can everybody see the blank page?
No. Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about now?
Yes.
Perfect.
all right, awesome. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's practice some banner styles. And I'll give you the names of them that I made up. And okay, so we're gonna start with one that is my favorite. It's definitely not the easiest one, but I think we could all do it. So this one, I call it the roller coaster, because it goes like up and then down. So it's kind of like a roller coaster. And what I'll do is go ahead and do another line parallel to it. And then I will have them meet on the edges there. And so really what we've done is we've drawn a rectangle that's going up and then down. So a curvy rectangle. And at this point, I want to come here on the corner and create like a triangle, but I put a little curve there. And then I'm going to curve and do a little line like that. And then this part here is gonna kind of look like a sideways M. And you've got your first little wing. And then you're gonna go here and do the same thing, catty corner. So like opposite. So the line there, and then up there, and now you have your triangle. And then we'll do this line coming back out. Awesome. And the last thing we'll do is the sideways letter M. Just like that. And then we could actually, I'm gonna go in just so we could start to see what a word would look like when it's in there. I'm gonna write the word roller coaster, which is kind of a long word, right? So how do I make sure I have enough room for it? A lot of the times what I'll do is I will write, I mean, this is all like scrap and this is a study, what we're doing right now. So really I would write it on another piece of paper, but just for the sake of this lesson, I'm gonna write the word here. So I always write my word so that I can have a visual of it. And then I can count how many letters I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 letters. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means the letter C is right in the center. So I'm going to circle my letter C. And now I know that C is in the center, so I'm going to start with my center. And so this is a trick on how to center your word on a banner. So I'll go ahead and do my letter C where I'm eyeballing where the center might be. And then I'm going to go towards the right and do all those other letters. And I always leave, you see the space below the C and above the C? I always leave a space there. Sometimes I see in the beginning when people start doing banners, they want to put their letters, they want to stretch their letters all the way from the top of the banner to the bottom of the banner. But that becomes a little overwhelming for the eye because all the lines are almost touching and it's too busy and there's not enough room for your eye to move around. So we want to leave that space so your eye can kind of move around and differentiate the letters from the line of the banner. And then I'm writing backwards. So it can be a little tricky. But that is how I center my word. So the word roller, or that part of it, I wrote backwards. Kind of. So, because if it was backwards, it would look like that, right? Which is also fun to write backwards. Awesome. All right. And then when we're done with that one, we are going to do another roller coaster one, except this one we'll do it instead of going up and then down, we're gonna start down and then come up. And then again, we're gonna parallel line down, up. And then we'll close it off with the 2 lines at the end. And now with this one, I wanted to show you a little bit different style wings that you could do. My absolute favorite wing is the first one that I showed you guys, but there's so many variations. So here, what I'm going to do is like a spiral. And then I can close up the spiral right here. And then I can also just anywhere, imagine it's like a little scroll almost. So you would do all those little lines to like close it up. And then you would go on to catty corner right up there. And do the spiral again. It's almost like a oval spiral. And then do your little lines again. And there you go. We got another. And then maybe we can practice our words again, going in the center. And this one, I'll say spiral.
Can you do a large version of the spiral in the end with the lines? Because I can't see the lines or where they go.
Sure.
Or maybe just see if I can see it.
Can you
Could
see
draw it
that?
again.
I can draw it again. Here we-
1, 2.
On the paper or no?
No, let's do it again.
Just do it right now.
So here we go. And then we'll do the line. And the other line. And then we'll go here and do the spirally thing. And now, really what you want to think about is this line right here. All the little lines you're about to make are going to be parallel to this line. And so you'll go right here, and then right here.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. And then same for this side. And it really depends on your spiral. If you sit there and make like a really long spot, like a really going inward, you're gonna have a lot more little lines. Perfect. Okay, and then we can practice again we're gonna do the word spiral. So we'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So now the center is right here. So I do myself a little dotted line. So I know that it's the space. And then I know, okay, I'm gonna eyeball where the middle would be, which is probably around here. And then I'll move right next to that spot and do my letter R. And then I'll do my letter A, L, and then I'll come back, give myself a little space, and then put my I and my P and my S. Perfect. And something to consider when we're writing words too, when you see a letter I, so if you notice, check this out. If you notice the letter S, let's say, for example, right? Do you see how the letter S fits in this box? Right? So it's taking up that much space. And then let's see the letter L. You know, the letter L is taking up that much space. And so is the letter R. But then when you look at the letter I, it's really only taking up that much space. Right? So when you have a letter I in your word, you also want to think about perhaps you just don't want to fall into the trap where all of a sudden on the left side you could end up with way more space because you didn't really notice that the letter I is not even going to take up that much space. So you want to kind of scoop the letters over to the left. Does that make sense? Like thinking about the space around your letters. Okay. But because sometimes you're going to come across a word that's filled with letter I's, and then it's extra tricky. All right. So now let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and do a couple more, and then we're going to move into our exercise. Okay, so right now we're doing a study. So I'm going to show you guys this one here. I'm going to call it like a smiley face banner. So we do that, a nice curve, and then we come here, parallel. So no matter what shape your banner takes on, the two long ones are parallel, And then the edges here are parallel. And then this one, let's actually do a little bit more. You know what? I'm gonna make it bigger so you can see it better actually. I'm gonna do a curve on the edge. So you can come in and here go like this. So it's almost like you have like a letter S. Crazy looking S. And then you'll want to do that same shape mirrored on the other side. So you'll bump it up and then curve inward and then curve out. So that's a fun one.
Oof.
A little tricky. And so now when you do your lines, same like the spirally one when we were doing the small lines, your lines get to be parallel with these right here, the one on this side. So you're going to do a line right here. And then on the corner here, you could either do a sideways M like the other one, or let's do something new and we'll just do a line coming down here, stop about there, and then go like this. So when you're coming back in, you want to be parallel to this shape. So now we've squared off the wing. And then we can go on the other side and do the same vertical lines. And now for this one, I'll show you guys a little variation on something else you could do with your banner. You could actually come in here and to give it some shading and give it some depth, you can come into this space right here that's folded inwards, and you can go ahead and do some vertical lines. And try to make them even, just up and down, up and down. So you can do it vertical, or you could actually make it go diagonal and it looks cool too. So there's different decisions and choices to make here. And again, there's probably like 8 or 9 other ways to fill in this space and make it look interesting. Beautiful. Nice work. Okay, now I'm just going to show you guys 2 more that are, they're pretty related to each other. So I want to show you it like one type of banner that has 2 different wings. So this one is going to be a way more simple banner, and we're going to go ahead and just do a straight up rectangle. And then here, all I'm going to do is a sideways M, and notice how I started a little bit more inside or a little bit lower, and then it comes in a little bit shorter. So sideways M and then a sideways M on the other side, And that's probably going to be one of your most basic banners. Very straightforward. And then here's a little variation on it. We can do the rectangle. And then we're going to keep all the corners nice and sharp, and we're going to do a sharp triangle here on either side. Just straight lines. And then we're going to go ahead and do a sideways M right here and right here. And then you can also, we could take, you see how the tail went up ways? You can also take it the other direction and do it the other way around, right? Like I could even just flip this over to show you that you could do it this way as well. It all kind of depends on your composition and, is that word at the top of your quote or towards the bottom, like one of the last words? Like for example, I would say if I'm using a banner like this, I would want to start to consider the space that's right in here, this little nook that's created. And let's say I had something like the marker, which is in my hand. So I would go ahead and nestle in my word the right into there. And then put the word marker there. So that's talking a little bit into composition, where you start to look at the negative space. So the negative space that was created by the banner, and how do you want to use it with your words and your letters and the message that you're conveying. Perfect. Okay, we're going to pause on that right there, and I would love to hear maybe a share or two on your experience on drawing these banners.
I get a little excited on the M's.
Nice.
This is what I felt about the last one, but going up or down.
Oh, nice.
That looks good.
Fun. Winner. Awesome. Okay. Does anybody have a favorite banner? Well, you were mentioning the M's.
I think ribbon's fun.
Whoa, the whole page. Haha.
Whoa,
Ribbon.
look at that.
Cool. Yeah, exactly. Think of it as a ribbon. Nice job. So when you can visualize the ribbon, that helps. I know that helps me come up with how the edges would look and the wings would look. So sometimes I visualize a ribbon, or I'll visualize a scroll, like if I'm doing spiralies or something like that. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're actually going to go into the main exercise, and what we're going to do is, okay, I got to share. Can we share yours real quick?
That's my favorite. I was gonna share it.
You
Yes.
are?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and share.
Okay, so this one's my favorite. I was like, oh, that's so basic. And then I was like, I'm gonna write meh. And then I made him sticking his tongue out. Now it's my favorite because now it's not basic.
The little character. Oh, that's fun.
Cool. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna move into the main thing, and what we're gonna do is we're going to, let's see, play some music, por favor. And Josh, I'd like you to lead us through. Go ahead.
Okay,
But
perfect.
really short.
Yes.
3 5 words.
Nice
Or
and
the message itself.
beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so our guided visualization is really fun note about them is they're the power of our imagination. So when you start to use your creativity and really start to express yourself, the power of imagination is really important. Let me make sure you can hear my music. That allows for it to be a little bit more relaxing. So yeah, so the power of visualization is the power of your imagination, power of play, and just really calling it forth. So what we're going to do real quick is we're just going to do a little guided visualization, and it's going to bring us into our next thing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go into the infinite space of our imagination and close our eyes. And we're just going to take 3 deep breaths just to make sure we're nice and relaxed. So take a real big deep breath in. And breathe it out. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. Breathe it in on this next one and hold it at the top. Breathe it in real big. Inside all the way out. And imagine you're nice and relaxed and you're laying in your bed and you had the perfect night's sleep, and maybe you didn't have other night's sleep before, or maybe it's the first time you slept in a long time, and you start to wake up and you imagine that you left yourself a really awesome note to really continue this feeling of, oh, I'm recharged, I'm ready to start my day. What would be this short little, maybe 3 or 4 word sentence, really short little statement? It could be an I am affirmation, or it could be a statement. What would you want to read to start your day and to continue this vitality and life throughout the rest of your day? So what would be that little message to yourself? So swim around in your creativity and the power of your imagination and call forth that little statement, that little message. It gives you love and it gives you light and energy for your day. Okay, once you have it, capture it, and then bring it back into this space by opening your eyes. Cool. Okay, so whether you got it in your little guided visualization or not, you could still be thinking about it, and Priscilla will take us on from here.
Thank you, sir. And maybe if you've got something, do you want to share? Anybody want to go around and share what they got? Throw it into the space.
I am light.
Good morning, sunshine.
Cute.
I was gonna say something. Okay.
I'm trying to think what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, it's like, all right, we're thinking about teaching and all that. We're like, all right, let's do it. Okay.
Right? All right.
What about this
Beautiful. What does that say? Oh, hello, sunshine. The pillow says it all. Ow. Oh, feet. Let's see. These are kind of long. All right. I'm gonna say today is beautiful. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna draw our message and take up the whole paper. And I want you to use at least one banner and really think about which word you would want to emphasize, because now when you're using that banner for a word, you are bringing more attention to that word. You're bringing the viewer's eye straight to it. And so which one would you like to put in your banner? And then what shape banner is it going to take on? And then when you choose your shape banner, how are the other words going to fit with your message? And you could choose to do it horizontal or you could choose to do it vertical. So totally up to you. And then you can also, by the way, when I do my words in my banners, I keep them pretty simple. And I just do straightforward lettering. I don't do bubble letters or box letters, or even, I don't even really do like calligraphy style inside my banners, because I feel like the banner is already going, hey, give me attention over here, that I don't really need to make my word look so fancy. And so that's something that I've decided on a long time ago, and I just stick to that. And then I choose, play around with the words outside of the banner and make them, you know, either with drop shadows and bubble letters and whatever else. So maybe you can take that on as well, or take on doing a bubble letter inside your banner too and see what that looks like. This is all exploration and learning and play. There's really no right or wrong. All right, so here we go. I say today is a beautiful day. Oh, I already know what I'm doing. And you can even add little illustrations around it. You know, if you've got some flowers that feel like they need to go on the paper, or some sunshine, sun rays, whatever it is. And of course, if you want to start with your pencils first, just to lay it all out, and then go in with markers, that's totally fine too. And if you have your microns nearby, you can go back in, maybe after you've done some color, and you can add details to it. So lots of options here to play with all the materials you've got.
Start over. Start over.
Yes, they can the sun. Okay, we're gonna take a couple more minutes here.
Check that one, but it might be close.
I'm just kidding. I'll do it. Okay, we're gonna start to bring it to a close. Maybe finish up one last thing that we're doing. Okay. I am really enjoying this. Awesome. Okay, my friends. We can go ahead and start to go around and share. You, what kind of awesomeness? Let me get that, please, Joshua. Forgot mouse. That's what.
Okay. Okay.
Alrighty, so who would like to go first?
Actually, I'm gonna have to go. I have a meeting in just a couple minutes, and so
We'll post.
so I need to prep for that. I need to
Sure,
prep
I would love
for
to.
that.
I'd love to
So,
see your picture.
Okay, I'll do it later. I'm not happy with it, of course.
Okay.
You know, that's just the inner dissatisfaction that is that uses me a lot. So anyway, so I'll share it later after I doctor it a little bit.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you
Good
so
seeing
much.
you.
Thank you so much. Okay. See you.
Next
Okay,
week.
bye-bye. See you next week. See you. Bye, guys.
Bye, lady.
Went through lose you guys. There you go. I went through multiple iterations, but
Nice. So go. Love yourself first. I love that. So
Love you
cool.
first. I love that.
Yeah.
I was
I love-
trying to get like Defender, video game, Metallica, like lettering there in the middle, but I'll have to work on that.
Yeah.
I love the outburst of love.
Yes.
Nice job. Nice banner. All right, Steph, what you got for us?
Sorry, I wanted to get an idea of how this looked. I'm obviously not done.
Oh, that's great.
So I don't know if I want to put anything in this or leave it negative space. I had put these in yellow because I wanted yellow, and then I like how the blue mixed and made the green, because green and blue to me are peaceful growth colors and stuff. So the green and mix it in, and then morning is small. Morning is not the important part, that I'm getting out of bed and not feeling great or whatever. It's good morning sunshine and then the rays. And I didn't know what to do with the rays, but I saw Kevin's, or maybe it's Joshua's, but both of you put rays with a dark line and a lighter line. So I'm going to kind of mix it together, I think. Do you guys have any ideas for hit this, leave it negative, or
Yes.
color it in?
Yeah.
Leave it
I-
negative.
First I want to say awesome. I love the sun that you brought in, and then the choice of banner that you chose is really cool because it kind of like it's giving the sun a hug. That's what it feels like to me. Super. Yeah, let me show you right here on this screen. So what you have right now is kind of like that, right? And then you went like this, or
Mm-hmm.
I think you did that kind of a thing, right? And so you have all of that. I did two different ones. It looks kind of crazy, but for the sake of what I'm going to show you, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I would do kind of like, you could either come here and do these like little lines like this.
Oh, yeah.
And I like to leave a space right here. Do you see that space?
Mhm.
Because sometimes I see people when they do lines like that on their banners, they go like this. You can choose to do whichever one. I just always find that always leaving a space right in here just gives you a nice break for your eye.
Can you move it over to the left a little bit so I can see what you're talking about, or to your right? So there's a space before. Okay, I thought you meant on the right. So that's cool. I like that.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
either that, or you could also, in this part of it where it curves, in this part of it where it curves, you could, this one's a little bit trickier, but you could do the lines coming like this. So it's a little bit trickier. Like you could do this side and do this side too. So it's really,
It's just kind of deciding. I think I'm going to do the first one.
and then that's also like leaving a space there. Uh-huh. Very cool.
You could always do it in pencil and then do it as well.
Yes.
That's
All
what I
right.
did with this whole thing.
Yeah.
Nice job. All right, Joshua, let's see yours.
Okay, I'm pretty happy with it.
Super magic.
Oh, wow.
How cute is that?
I love that.
Thank you. I'm very happy with it.
Look at those tails.
Could be a scarf.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that I wanted to maybe turn these into candles because I was like, oh, they could be like flames or something. And then I was like, yeah, no, I'll just put a candle in the middle.
Haha.
So
Nice. And that's cool that you said scarf. Yeah, you can think of these as ribbons, scrolls, or scarves.
very cool.
Nice job.
Thank you very much.
I have a question, Joshua. Can I post that
Of course.
when I'm going to write a little blurb about tonight?
Okay.
And then
Yeah, I'll put my name on it, so I got a little bit in there. But sure, I'll put it in Telegram, so you could just use it right from Telegram. It'll be a clear picture.
awesome. Perfect.
Well, I'm going to share a little bit about mine. I was deciding what to do, and I love the shape banner, so I said, what the heck, stick with that. And then I love how Steph, you and I both had like that same idea of putting the sun like right onto the banner like that. And
Yeah, that's cool.
and then I started to think of, it just made me think of a landscape too. So it's kind of like the grassy, all the greenery and the flowers and everything, and then the blue sky, so all the blue, and then the sun. So this makes me think of the day. It's wonderful to declare that today is a beautiful day. And then I got mixed up with the different colors of yellows that we got, and it wasn't exactly how I planned, and I was over here with a frowny face for a little while. But it looks great. I love it.
I love it.
And you would never tell that I made like 5 mistakes.
She was probably at the edge of starting over too.
I was like, no, that's not the right color. So it's funny. Perfect. Okay, that was so much fun. I would love to hear perhaps an aha or something that you learned about yourself today or a takeaway.
I'm learning to accept myself. Like I just like smeared up some stuff on this and I don't like it. And so what? I mean, it doesn't whether or not this is a gorgeous thing does not affect who I am. And so I can enjoy. Come on, go away. Okay. No, hang up. I don't. Oh, anyway, sorry. My phone never, ever, ever rings. So, anyway, I'm loving this, and I love hearing that you struggle with some of the same thing. Oh, it's not the way I wanted it. I'll start over. So, in some ways, there's also a shift from acceptance to commitment that I want to get this so it looks beautiful. So, experiment with the rest of it and then do a new one.
Ooh, I love that. I love like, can I be committed to this piece and finish it, follow through all the way? Awesome point.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I told her, because she made the first mark with the brown and she thought it was yellow. Actually, she made the first mark with the yellow, but it was the light yellow and she wanted the golden yellow. And then I was like, here's the other yellow. And then she made it and it was dark brown and it wasn't even golden yellow. And she's like, oh my God, this is not. And she stopped. She didn't do anything. And I was like, just finish it. Just finish it. Go, just finish it. And then now she likes it. So.
Yeah, I heard start over in that conversation somewhere in the background.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, you gave me because she wanted gold. She had yellow, and then I gave her gold, and she had brown. It was pretty.
Oh, you guys can hear us.
It's kind of funny on my end.
You guys can hear us whispering.
Yeah, I think I see today is a beautiful day, and the top part makes me think of a really tasty breakfast sandwich.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
I love it. I love it. So cool.
Toast.
What about you, Kevin?
So for me, like this is one of my doodles from the past.
Whoa.
Wow.
And so like practicing the banners and playing around with these Micron pens and doing those things gives me the kind of the same piece of drawing the lines and seeing where they connect.
Mm-hmm.
It's very relaxing.
So nice. When you say relaxing, so I mean, you don't really need to know this, and I love science too. So there's a book called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. I believe I put it in the chat. The introduction is one of the most valuable things that I read of that book. And when you're drawing and you're not speaking, your left brain starts to go quiet, and those are all the self-limiting beliefs or just words in general, and you go into meditation. So especially that line drawing that you did, you were in a straight mental health, mindful practice. You were meditating through line, and it's really good for your brain. So you feeling it and saying it, well, scientifically, it's like proven that it is calming for you and really good for your mental health. So
beautiful. All right, everybody. I haven't really thought of what the homework is yet. So keep an eye out in the chat. I'll post it tonight or tomorrow morning. And now you have a beautiful message for yourself to see in the morning. And I would suggest maybe putting a piece of tape. I mean, if you want to rip it out of your paper, you could put a piece of tape and hang it on the wall, or just leave your notebook open for you to see it in the morning. All right, everybody. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. If you can post, please post so we can see the
Thank
next.
you. See you next week.
So
Yes.
nice. Thank you.
Hey, those markers.
What is your step?
The micro markers, are they all supposed to be black or is it multicolor?
No, there's the black ones.
They're black.
Okay, cool. When do we need those?
You can have them for next class.
Yeah, next class is good. They're just beautiful to have no matter what. So I just order them right away. When you play with them, you can see, just like Kevin was saying, is like, oh, look at this. Like it's like You can do like super detail. You can do double detail. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with them.
Yeah, I use them for the detail of the word beautiful, like the little shadow. I can't remember.
Oh, cool.
Or, yeah. So
What might be wrong with this that it
Well-
looks funny?
You want to show yours, Kevin, again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so for mine, I just had a quick question. So I did a little bit of, the shadow lines back there.
yeah.
But curious, with this block, what type, what kind of lines would make that more expressive and not
Sure.
harsh?
Yeah, she's got it.
I don't know,
Okay,
because
let's
it's
do it.
it's
I would, similar to what I showed Steph. So you got your rectangle there, and then you did like that, and like that, and like that. So I forgot what your word was, but I'm just gonna write the word love.
that was it.
Okay. I would come in here, so you have those lines. And then I would just come in here and do lines like that. And
Oh.
when I do those lines, I apply pressure, and then when I go to the right, I almost lift off the marker and let it taper.
Is different colors too distracting, or is that just whatever?
I would do. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, let me see your colors that you got going on.
I would do lighter.
Oh yeah. I see. Yeah, I would do either that same color that you use for your stripes inside the triangle.
Okay.
I would do that, or a lighter color than, or the same. Yeah, yep, rock with that color.
Since you already did your stripes underneath, it makes sense to do it with the other one. So
Yeah.
that way it looks intentional. And then you also have the stripes behind it mixed with the red. So now it looks like it's intentional all the way around. So when you follow a color scheme, if you just throw a random thing in there, somebody's eyes are going to be like disrupted. It's going to go through the whole flow, and then it's going to be like, ah.
Yeah, or sometimes you could even do like a couple of lines right here. Like just a few, like right here. One, 2, 3. That's kind of fun too.
Yeah.
So let me see, did I draw? Yeah, I did. So like, let me see, I'll draw one more to show you guys. Whoa, came out kind of crazy. It's okay. So like for this one, because I love doing this shape all the time. Okay, so I can come in here and do that. I love doing diagonal when I do it inside my triangles. That's like my go-to. And then got the word love here, and then I would come and then do this one's a little curvy, so I'll do a little curvy line going like that. And then I would come here and do that and that, and then that and that, just to kind of fill up that space a little. And then I could even come in here and go like this. Oops. Maybe some action lines from the outside. And those are also tapered too. So I play with my markers so much that I know where I want to apply pressure and let it go to kind of, it helps move the eye too. The line will look really stiff if I just do, you could just do your lines like that too. But I know that I don't want my lines to look so stiff. So I do that.
Yeah, mine looks stiff.
Yeah, and
That's
she's
okay.
speaking from since she's been drawing since she's been 2, so she's got a
Yeah.
lot of experience and a lot of fails. So that's another thing. The more you do it, the more you know what you don't want, and then the more you do what you know what you do want. And then of course taking our classes is going to jump you up a million times further, because she's going to tell you what she loves from the last 20 years, and then you get to start
Exactly.
there. So that's a real cool thing.
Yeah, I've practiced it so much, and then I've made judgments on all of it too, right? Like for me, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna say that looks stiff, and that looks more animated, and this looks. So I'm using my eye and making all these judgments, so then I can make decisions.
And the last note on that is stiff. If it's meant to be a stiff drawing, is perfect for that drawing, you know what I mean? So like if it's meant to be alive and flowy, then you're not using a stiff line, you're using a flowy line. But if it's meant to be like, because there's some drawings that are meant to like knock you on your butt and make you think, and you want those ones to be like shocking. So instead of being all flowy and following and your eyes so pleasing, you want them to be like flow, boom, and then punch, and you're like, whoa, that just impacted me. So there's not really a right or wrong. It's just, what is my intention?
Perfect. All right, sweet. Okay, you guys are
For
awesome.
homework,
What is
it,
it?
it could include exercises to do to learn how the markers work. Like just drawing, what kind of lines to draw just to practice. Or just play with it. Is that what we're supposed to do?
Oh, that is a beautiful request. Yeah. Why don't I'll come up with something and then I'll put it in the Telegram.
Lovely, thank you.
All
We definitely have that in the resources, but yeah, it'll be fun when she gives us the thought.
right.
Awesome.
Sweet. Thank you guys. Good
All
night.
right, guys. Have
Good
a beautiful
night. Love
evening.
you guys.
Love
Love
you.
you.
See you later.